We were packing for a trip. There's my dad kind of getting ready, and we've got our bags all packed here, all lined up to be taken up to the airport. This was at Mirabel Airport in Montreal. It doesn't exist anymore. I think they were going to make a terrarium out of it or a habitat or something. Anyway, there's some architectural pictures of the airport, and we were on our way to Austria. Now, the reason that happened is because I was being invited by relatives over there to go visit, but my mother was scared that I wouldn't be able to find my way or make my way through Austria. I was 15 years old. I thought it would have been a great trip. But she says, "You're not going without me." And then, then she said to my dad, "I'm not going without you." And then my sister got dragged into it. So all of us ended up going. I took a sunrise in black and white. Only I would do that. So here we are in Frankfurt. We're at the train station, and we're going to travel down through Salzburg, through Munich and Salzburg, and down towards Austria, the south of Austria, in Klagenfurt. There's my mother on the train, and I managed to get another really great picture of her on the train. Here it is now. I don't know how that happened, but it just turned out so good. And all the other pictures just kind of turned out meh, all right. That train ride, did I ever look young? I guess I was. On that train ride, we saw some spectacular views, and traveling through the countryside and traveling through mountains. And you'd go through, you'd get have a cloudy day, and then you'd travel through mountains, through the tunnel, and you'd come out the other side, and it would be beautiful and sunny. And I just snapped this from the train. It just turned out really good. Some beautiful views there. And here we are unpacking at my dad's brother's place in, what was the name of the town? Not Feistritz, but I forget. Yeah, I guess it was Feistritz. Anyway, he had sheep in his yard to take care of cutting the grass so that he wouldn't have to mow the lawn. And the bonuses in fall, they would have meat. There's my cousin and my sister, and this is just some guy playing soccer. He was throwing the ball into the field, and there's my dad talking with one of the locals. And this is the valley that my folks grew up in. It's just beautiful, beautiful country. I'd love to go back again. There's my mother. In the middle is my mother's dad, a stepfather, and these are uncle and aunt of hers. This was a lake that we went to, and gosh, did I ever, I'm almost looking like Justin Bieber. This was just some guy fishing, and it looked good, so I took a picture. I was using a manual camera. It was a Zenit E. It was a Russian camera, and it was twice as heavy as it had to be, and not as good quality as it could have been. But for, I think my dad paid $90 for it, and it was a 35 millimeter single lens reflex camera, and it took all of these pictures. This is a castle called Purg Hoch Ostawitz, and there is the waitress dressed in medieval type costume, and here we are waiting for our food. Of course, I was into fast cars then. I'm not into them so much now because I can't afford one. I thought back then that I would be able to. And we went on an outing with mom's stepdad and went into the town, and there was like a marketplace happening there, and it was a nice little outing. Nowadays, I would be bored by a marketplace thing, so I took pictures of cars. Yeah, and you had to get the steeple in there and another car. We went to this pond, my mother in the village where she grew up, and here I don't know what's happening. Oh yeah, they're doing laundry. You gotta do laundry, right? There's that beautiful lake again. Such spectacular views and a mountain, and this is near my dad's brother's place. Yeah, Feistritz is where they lived, and Unter Feistritz is below Feistritz. There's that lake. There's mom's cousin, one of mom's cousins. These pictures are not exactly in chronological order, but they're close. This part is from the south of Austria in Rosenthal. This is Rosenthal, and that's the Drau River. There's another shot of the sheep. There we are, mom, my sister, and me. We're so happy we're on this trip, and even the cows are happy. There's my dad talking with one of the locals. I guess he knew him before he moved away from Austria. And we went to this little village where they had put historical houses together, and it's like a village of typical construction in the area. And yeah, nice fields. And we went for walks. And here we are with my mother's half sister. And this is just one of the souvenir things, and they've got their alpine hats, and here we've got the traditional dancers, the Holtz, the wood choppers, traditional dancers, and just pictures of us and stuff. And yeah, we did some mountain climbing. Here we're preparing to go up a mountain, and here my sister and I are up at the top. The picture's kind of grainy because it was blown up a lot. There's my uncle's car. It was an Audi 50. Never seen one anywhere else, and I didn't see another one on that whole trip. There's my dad and sister at the bottom of the mountain climbing up, and here they are up at the top where the cross is. And they have these chalets and huts all the way up there, and here we are having dinner at my dad's brother's place. And this was at the store where my mother's stepdad and my mother started that store back in the 1940s. We were just some local girls. And yeah, they started the store back in the 1940s. They have these things all over the place. They're sort of like Stations of the Cross. And there's my cousin playing us some music. And there's my sister, my mother, and mom's stepdad. You gotta thumb your nose at some things, I guess. And that's my dad's brother's house. My dad's brother somehow managed to not get into many of these pictures. I think he's in one of them. And that's going to be coming up. There's my mother's stepbrother, I guess. My dad and my sister there. The guy in the front with his hand up, that's my dad's brother. Now we went on the train and we ended up in Innsbruck. So these are some pictures from, I guess, Innsbruck. They got that's a golden roof. That little roof there, that's gold. They called it the Goldenes Dachel. And this is all the families. My dad's sister was in there. Her husband was. They were both at the ends, and my family in the middle. And one of my cousins was in there too. You'll see other pictures of him. There's my dad's sister's husband. Yeah. And they have this river going right through the village where they live. It's a village called Umhausen. It's in the Ötztal. Ötztal is the valley of the river Ötz, I guess. And they have this waterfall not too far from there. You go up the mountain and there's this waterfall in it. And then the water goes from the waterfall and it runs down through the town. And of course they got some incredible mountains there in Tyrol. Fantastic. That's the village from up on the path leading up to the waterfall. There's the waterfall. And one of my earliest memories ever is being at that waterfall when I was 2 years old back in 1966. I remember that still to this day, being at that waterfall. Incredible. And it's amazing the things you remember. But it's just a fragment, just being there. I think my mother was holding me and the water was falling nearby. And this is at my dad's sister's place. My dad's sister was on the right there. And this is on the path also to the waterfall. The guy on the right, that's my cousin Klaus. And there's another one of my mother. That's my dad's sister's place. It was like a guest house. They had like 15 rooms. And they had guests coming in from all over to visit and stay there for vacation because it's a nice little village and a nice little valley. and that valley goes up higher into the mountains, and we'll get there really soon. This is right in the middle of the village, right across the street from the church. They have this, and this is up in the mountains, near the well, past the waterfall. Really beautiful country there. It's hard to believe it's 34 years since I was there, and I would love to go again. And now maybe I would appreciate it a little more than when I was 15 years old. But what would have been cool would have been to have video of all this. But at least I took pictures. I took 36 rolls of film, and I grabbed whatever film I could get. I took film out of people's refrigerators that they were saving for later, and I was buying film all the time, and I think I had 26 rolls of film, all kinds, black and white, color, slide, print, didn't matter as long as it was film, and I could put it in my camera and take pictures. And I like this one. This is a beautiful valley. Anyways, we're getting close to the glacier now. This is yeah, we cheated. We didn't walk up every mountain. See those houses way up there? That is just incredible. This is in the church, right in that village, that little village there. This is up on the glacier where they found the Iceman. That's the top of the Ötztal, and that's skiing. You can see people skiing on the glacier, and I should have got pictures of people wearing swimming trunks on the skiing, but I guess I was taking things that were not so important, like the crevasses in the glacier and us standing around on the glacier. But I guess you can see the flags and stuff that people ski around in that picture there. And yeah, here we are just being mountaineers. And yeah, of course, up to the top there is a chairlift. And there's my mother with my dad's sister's son, I guess it is. Or maybe he's just one of the kids of the guests. I think it's my dad's sister's son. That's my dad's. That's my cousin, my dad's sister's daughter, and the kid is her son, I think. Anyway, we're back in Germany. We're in Frankfurt now, and we're at the airport. We're leaving. We're flying back to Montreal.
Fat quick. Fat quick. Fat quick. Fat quick.